Good morning, campers. How are you? It's Miss Beth, and Miss Tracy and I are coming to you from Camp Current, and we are very sorry that we are not able to be with you here at camp this summer, and that you are going to be doing yoga virtually through Google Classroom. But we have lots of different activities for you through Google Classroom for 6 weeks, and we're excited to do some mindfulness with you, some yoga, some breathing exercises, some guided meditation, and just like at school, you're going to use Google Classroom to attach to different links in your activities page. There's going to be some journaling. There's going to be some writing activities, but certainly it's not like school. We're going to do some movement. So I want to make sure that when you are watching this, you're in a comfortable, quiet space, because doing yoga is all about union, coming together with your body and your mind. So you want to be in a space, whether it's your bed or your room or maybe your basement, somewhere that you feel very comfortable, where it's quiet, where you'll be able to focus so that you can do the best that you possibly can. And we're doing the same. Maybe you have a spot that is outside on the grass where you can bring a yoga mat or a beach towel. Anyway, this particular video is all about the 5 W's of yoga. Okay, that is the who, the what, the where, the why, and it's not a W, but it's a how to do yoga. Okay, so I have my yoga teddy bear here, and if you feel comfortable and you have a special teddy bear or a special doll at home that you'd like to do yoga with, or something that makes you feel great, bring it to yoga. Okay, so I also have my friend Lily in the background. This was actually a painting, a chalk drawing done by one of my students in high school, and she's going to be on our yoga videos as well. So I hope you enjoy. And what we like to do is, in the very beginning of each class that we're doing, we're going to start out just like your teachers would start out with getting your attention. We're going to start out with the singing bowl. So I'm going to put our teddy bear down for just a moment. Okay, and if you see that there's many different kinds of singing bowls that are out there. Some have different symbols on them to represent yoga, and so I'm going to ring it, and it also means that we're going to start our little yoga class right now. So all I need you to do is just sit up crisscross applesauce, or if you want to have your legs out, and just listen. So that means that you're getting your mind and your body ready to start our class. So I just wanted to show you this. We're going to go through all the different parts of yoga. And first is, what is yoga? Yoga is many different things. Yoga is mindfulness, which means being in the present moment. Yoga is also breathing. So I'd like you to take one hand and put it on your heart, and one hand on your stomach. We're going to connect our heart to our stomach. Okay, you're going to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And we're going to be getting into different types of yoga breath on different videos, but for now, yoga is all about peace. So it's also about your heart. So make a little heart shape and put it to your heart, and you can blow your heart out and go psh, blow out all your love to somebody. So yoga is all about breathing. It's all about connecting your heart to your core area, to your stomach area. It's about stretching and making your body feel good. It's also about resting your body. So that is the W of yoga. Who does yoga? Well, I do yoga. Tracy does yoga. You guys do yoga. A lot of you have been here last year, years in the past. We do yoga at camp, but many different people do yoga. Older people do yoga. They may need help like in a chair and they can do yoga in a chair. And if you're not comfortable at home on your bed or on your floor, you can pull up a chair too, and you can do your yoga there. You could just have your feet on the floor, and you can take a couple deep breaths. So that's possible. So older people might need a chair. They may not need a chair. There's also younger people that do yoga. In fact, when you were in your mom's stomach, you already knew about 30 or 40 different yoga poses. You were in a small little spot, and you were able to crawl your body and wrap yourself around, and you were very flexible back then, and you already knew a lot of poses when you came into the world. Babies do yoga. I know my son took classes when he was little. Toddlers do yoga. School kids do yoga. Many different people do yoga. In fact, lots of athletes do yoga, and maybe you're an athlete too. Maybe you play a sport. And I can tell you that I remember a long time ago, probably before you were born, there was a Super Bowl that happened, and the lights had gone out, and athletes needed to move their bodies, and when they were waiting for the game to start up again, they went onto the football field, and they actually did some yoga stretches so that they could warm up their body. So many different athletes do yoga. Many different famous people do yoga. Maybe you know LeBron James, Katy Perry, Madonna. Lots of famous people do yoga. Oprah does yoga. Lots of people do yoga. And I bet that through this COVID crisis that we've had, many people are finding different activities in their house to do yoga. So that's who does yoga. Where can you do yoga? We can do yoga anywhere. We could be outside in nature doing yoga. In fact, a lot of poses, names like tree, mountain, bird, came from nature. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But you can do yoga outside. You can do yoga in your bed. You can do yoga inside your house. You can do yoga on a beach. There's many different places to do yoga. In fact, in the summertime, I like to practice yoga on a paddleboard. And in the past, I've shown you guys pictures of that. And it's in the lake, and we do different poses on the paddleboard. And sometimes we fall in the water, but that's okay. I've also done some yoga on horses. They train horses to be very calm. And there's different poses like warrior pose or forward fold, and you're sitting on the horse, and you can do poses on horses. So many different places you can do yoga. You can do yoga when it's hot. You can do yoga when it's cold. You could do yoga in the pool. So many different places that you can do yoga. Okay, so that's where you can do yoga. When can you do yoga? You can do yoga anytime. And there's certain poses that we will get into that is better to do in the morning. And there's certain yoga poses that you can do at night. First in the morning to wake your body up and energize you. And then you can do some poses at night, right before you go to bed, to relax your body. And we'll be teaching you some poses, some restorative poses to help you go to sleep. Sometimes when you put your legs up the wall and then you bring all your energy from your feet down to your head, that seems to relax you a little bit. So you can do yoga. Sometimes it's good to do it a little bit after you're eating lunch to help with digestion. Sometimes it's good if you're feeling sleepy. Sometimes at school you get a little sleepy throughout the day, so it's good to do that. Sometimes if you're at recess and you want to calm down when you come in, you might do some yoga then. Okay, so any time of the day is really good to do yoga. It just depends on how your body feels. So we've talked about what, we've talked about who, we've talked about where, we've talked about when, and where does yoga come from? We didn't talk about that. So I'm going to show you, and I'm also attaching this as a link. Okay, yoga started thousands of years ago in India. So I'm going to bring over my map here. This is the globe, and we are in North America. So we are over here, if you can see that. All the way on the other side of the world, past Africa, this orange right here is India. And that is where yoga had started from. Okay, and people thousands of years ago liked to go out into nature. We did not have shopping malls back then or food stores, right? So people got together and they went out into nature and they decided they needed to stretch. So they stretched, and they decided that they would call certain poses after animals such as dog or cat. Or, like I said before, they also labeled their yoga poses such as things in nature, like fish or mountain or the sun. And they worship the sun. They absolutely love the sun. And that's why we also have poses called sun salutations. So they use the sun to tell the time. They use the moon to know that it was nighttime. So yoga started in India thousands of years ago, and it is still practiced there today, but now it is all around the world, and there's lots of different types of yoga. There's Bikram yoga, which is hot yoga. There's restorative yoga, where you use different props, which we'll talk about. There's power yoga, where you're linking your breath to your body and you're doing sun salutations. So there's also gentle yoga, where you're just simply stretching your body. So there's many different kinds of yoga. Maybe some of you have heard something called Ashtanga yoga. That is more of a sequence where you're doing each pose twice. So we're going to mix it up a little bit these next 6 weeks, and we're going to be doing lots of yoga. So also, I also wanted to tell you about why people do yoga. And I'm also attaching this as a link, okay? But there's many, many benefits of yoga. If you ask your doctor, or you ask your gym teacher, or you ask your friends, or maybe mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, or your friends do yoga at home or at a studio, okay? There's many, many different reasons why people do yoga, and you can start at any time. Okay, but it's important to keep up with it. If you do yoga, it's really good to do it every day, a little bit each night, even if you do some breathing. So some of the benefits that you will see that's attached to the sheet are: it helps increase your physical strength. You get stronger. Okay, it helps with your flexibility. Maybe some of you do gymnastics and you need to stretch. Some of you also play sports, and you know that it's very important to stretch your muscles before you go and you run. Maybe a lot of you picked up running during COVID, or you went out for walks with your family. So yoga definitely helps with that. Also, it helps with your focus. Right? Sometimes it's really hard and you get easily distracted when you do your schoolwork, or your sister or your brother or your cousins, they like to distract you. So yoga is very helpful. It helps you to focus, helps to calm you down if you have like a test at school or you're reading and it's really distracting. So taking a couple deep breaths is helpful. It also helps with your digestion, right? A lot of us sometimes are on the run, or we used to be on the run and we were going someplace. Maybe we were eating in the car quickly and then you don't feel so good. So yoga really helps. And some of the things we're going to talk about is mindful eating, really appreciating the food, where it comes from, how much of it you're eating so you know you're full. Really tuning into your body. So yoga and breathing actually helps with your nourishment, right? You don't always want to do yoga when your body is full, right? You don't want to do a power yoga because you might get sick, right? Just the same way where you wouldn't want to like play a sport when you were really full with your body, right? So it helps with nourishment. It also helps with your alignment. If you notice, I'm sitting straight up, okay? I have my legs crisscrossed, but if that's not comfortable to you, you can have your legs out. So the reason why I want you to think about your body kind of like a puppet, right? And there was like a string that was attached to the top of your head and someone was pulling you up. And inside we have our lungs that help us breathe. So if we're sitting like this in a chair, we're not really getting all the energy, all the breath in. So it's really important to have your shoulders back, right? Your ribs are expanding, your lungs are helping us to breathe, okay? And your chin is kind of in line with your chest, with your stomach. Everything's in line, right? You don't want to be slumped over. And good thing is, you know, you're at home, maybe you're sitting in a desk or your bed. A lot of us are sitting at desks during the day, and sometimes you get tired and you slump over. I know maybe you have an exercise ball at home. I know at school, I'm a teacher, and we ordered exercise balls that are attached to a chair to help with our alignment. So maybe you have an exercise ball at home, and that helps, first of all, to keep you awake, but also helps with your alignment, right? And I know a lot of you were doing Google Classroom I was doing it as well, and we were doing a lot of sitting. Our eyes were strained. So it's important, especially during this COVID, that we get a lot of movement in and a lot of breath work. So it's also important that you're sitting up to help you get energized. So that's another benefit of yoga. And also it helps support your nervous system. We have lots of nerves in our body, right, that we feel. We have sensations, and we're going to talk about that another time too. So yoga can help relax you. It can kind of stimulate your nerves, right, helps you wake up. And doing yoga and stretches can also help sleep. Some of you have trouble either going to sleep before you go to bed or staying asleep. So things like guided meditation stories, or listening to quiet music or a story, or listening to just nature can help relax you and help you to stay asleep, so that you don't have to take medicines to help you stay asleep. And so those are some of the benefits. So just to sum things up, we just talked about the 5 whys of yoga. We did the who, we did the what, we did the where, the when, and why do yoga. So we're excited to bring to you in the next couple weeks all different kinds of videos and links and stories to incorporate everything that we've been learning about. So I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of a history lesson. I hope you enjoyed doing the yoga, and now you know a little bit more about the yoga. And we're going to end with the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.